Hey. So, I am recording out of my office today, as you can see. Um, I just wanted to touch on something. I've noticed an uptick in people doing random acts of kindness for other people here lately, and I've always done that because, well, for one thing, sometimes you feel like doing something for somebody and you just go with it. And then there are days where, you know, you see somebody who really needs it and you might not have it, but you're going to help them anyways. I've always been one of those who, if I have it and I might not have much that day, but I have enough to cover what somebody needs, I'll do that. My thing is, a lot of the people who are doing these random acts of kindness, for one reason or another, feel like they need to record their acts of kindness. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't. Most people, when they're struggling, don't want the world to know that they're facing hardship. I know I don't. If I'm going through something, I don't need the whole world to know that I'm going through it. I just, it's basically, I feel like it's an invasion of privacy. These people already don't have privacy as it stands. So what little they do have, it's not fair to take it from them just so you can get some likes and whatnot on social media, because that's what I feel like that's mainly about, is people want to be recognized for being nice. Like, you shouldn't be recognized for being nice. You should just be nice. Like, human nature, you should just be nice. It's common sense. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you were struggling or homeless or anything like that, you wouldn't want people recording you and putting you all over social media in raggedy clothes and things like that. And you wouldn't. But a lot of people do it. And I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to record, and I might talk about something that happened. Like, I'm going to tell y'all something in a minute. But I might talk about something, and I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to describe the person or anything like that, because it's none of your business who that person was. If they want people to know that somebody helped them, then they'll tell people that somebody helped them. And nobody will ever be able to name me as a person who helped them, because I don't stand around and wait on them to see that I'm the one who did it. I don't need them to know that I did it. I know I did it. God knows I did it. That's all the recognition I need. I need to know that I myself am a good person and love to help people. And I need to know that God knows, which I know because God sees everything. So you'll never see somebody who can name me out, who can actually call me out on helping somebody. It's not going to happen. The only people who can tell you that I helped somebody would be the people I live with, and they're not going to tell nobody nothing. So, but I say that because I'm going to touch on something that happened. I was in a Chick-fil-A line. Okay. Now, we all know this whole pay it forward thing that people have been doing in the drive-thru line. Well, I always have done that. So, it's kind of, so what? Now that it's being done everywhere. But, there was a sheriff in the line. Now, this is not the first cop that I've done something for, and he's not going to be the last, because I'm not y'all. I'm not the majority of people who think all cops are bad, because you got these bad ones that are being reported and recorded and put all over social media doing negative things. That, in comparison to how many police there actually are, that is a handful of horrible people. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Birmingham PD has been overrun by corrupt officers. There's no getting around that fact. But there are good ones in Birmingham PD as well. So you can't just generalize on all cops. It doesn't work that way. But anyway, that was off topic. We were in line. Now, I got up to order my food, and there was a car beside me who had just rolled up after me to order their food. So, needless to say, I dragged out my order until the car beside me went on out the way. And then I finished my order, and I pulled up to pay for my order as the sheriff's deputy or whatever he was ordering his food. So the lady who was taking my payment, very sweet old lady, she was taking my payment, and the sheriff finally pulls up. Like, I was dragging everything out. He finally pulls up, and he rolls down his window. He's getting ready to pay. So I'm like leaning over out my window, and I'm like, can you tell me how much his is going to be? And she's like, well, it's $7 and I think like 92 cents or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm going to pay that. So I took the 20 out and I handed it to her. Now, it looks like I'm paying for my own food while I'm doing this. But I do look over at his car and I yell out, thank you for your service. And I wave at him. Okay? Because, you have to thank them. These people get out of their way. They go out of their way to protect other people. They put their lives on the line. And you can say that they're in danger only because so many cops are bad, yada yada. No. Okay, because cops are being killed for routine traffic stops. Now, I get that when you're being stopped by a cop with everything that's going on, you might be, a little nervous or whatever. Or you might have warrants for something. But most of these cops, they're not even going to run your name completely. Or if they do and it's a minor warrant for like a traffic ticket or something, they don't take these things as seriously as you think. If you're not a murderer or wanted for something horribly serious, they're not going to go out of their way to screw you over. Okay? Not all cops are bad. There's no such thing as a bad cop. There are bad people with badges. That's it. But anyway, so, he kind of smiles and whatnot, and the woman hands me my change, which would have been his change if he had paid, but she hands me my change, and she turns around to him, and I see him try to hold his card out his passenger side window, and she kind of shakes her head. So at that point, I start driving off because I can hear her in the background saying, she just paid for your stuff and I just want to say thank you for your service. So it went from me thanking him for his service to her thanking him for his service. It's a chain reaction, okay? And the more you show appreciation to these people who put their lives on the line, the less trouble there's going to be. You don't know what kind of stress these people face on a daily. You don't know. You can't know because you're not out there doing it. And regardless of what they may say or they may do or anything like that, they need to hear appreciation. They need to hear gratitude every now and then. It's, you can't go through life doing these dangerous things over and over and over again and continue to do it and never be told that it was worth it. And that's a horrible thing for anybody to live with. But yeah, so I drove off while she was telling him that. And I get around, I get my food. He's like 2 cars behind me at this point. I guess he stood there to talk to the woman or whatever. Anyway, he's like 2 cars behind me. Maybe he was right behind me, but it looked like he was 2 cars behind me. So I get my food. I drive off. Me and my sister, we were already gone. We're sitting at a traffic light now. Okay. Well, we're waiting. The light is red. We can't go nowhere. Next thing I know, he's pulling up beside us, this big, huge grin on his face, smiling and waving, and he was saying something. Now, I didn't roll my window down because I just, I generally don't roll my window down. And that wasn't the purpose of me paying for his food. I didn't need him to come and say anything to me. But he was saying something. I assume it was a thanks or whatever. And my sister, as he drove off, I was smiling and waving back at him because, yeah, he was smiling and waving at me, so I'm going to return it. She was like, now, you just made his whole day. And in my head, I'm like, well, I'm glad I did, because hopefully, far be it from me to say, I don't wish suicidal thoughts on anybody. But a lot of our police officers and EMTs and these other people in authorities, they're going through a lot right now. Like, a lot of them are wanting to kill themselves. A lot of them have killed themselves. You have all these good cops quitting because, who wants to be a police officer when the public as a whole is determining that all cops are bad? I wouldn't. There's no way. I would not put on the daggone uniform and a badge and walk my butt out my own house so somebody can gun me down talking about I'm a bad cop, and I know that I'm not. That would be the first moment that I would quit my job. But a lot of them are going through a lot mentally and emotionally, and they don't get the help they need from their places of employment. Like, y'all can say that a psych eval once a year that's not help. Okay? And if the person has been spending so much time bottling their emotions up, that one psych eval wouldn't even show that there's anything wrong. Like, you would think that they were just normal, perfectly fine, coping with everything, just awesome. Okay? And on the inside, they're screaming for help. Okay? And we can all help these cops, these good cops. All of us can help them. Okay? All you have to do is show appreciation. Now, I'm not saying that if you know a corrupt cop, you go out of your way to say thank you to that person. If they're corrupt, I ain't thinking nothing. Okay? And if I know they're corrupt, I dang sure ain't thinking nothing. But you can't generalize. So, yes, when I see somebody, and it's not going out of my way, because it doesn't take anything for me to open my mouth and say thank you for the job that you're doing. That sentence took me 1.5 seconds to say. Thank you for the job that you're doing. It's appreciated and it's needed. Regardless of what you think, it is needed. These officers are 100% necessary. Because if you take them out the equation, these murders that we have every day is going to escalate 1,000%. We're going to go from having 6 deaths to having 206 deaths in a day. We don't need that. We need these officers. And if we want these officers to continue to be officers and to be good ones, we have to let them know that we appreciate them. So, I say all of that to say, you don't know what kind of impact you're making on these people's lives when you do something nice for them, or when you say something nice to them. Just anything. I'm just so tired of hearing everybody talking about bad cops this and bad cops that. Yeah, they're bad cops. There are bad people everywhere. There's no such thing as a bad cop. Like, the cop itself is bad. The idea of being a cop is bad. There's no such thing. It's a bad person who somehow or another managed to land themselves a job that gave them a badge, and now they're a police officer. So that bad person is still a bad person who's a cop. It's not a bad cop, okay? Like, people need to get out of that frame of mind. There's no such thing. Cops are not bad. There are bad people who are cops. So, next time you see a cop and, If you're able to, then, pay for their lunch or buy them a drink or something like that. If you're not able to, open your mouth and say thank you for what they're doing, because you wouldn't get out there and do it. You wouldn't risk your life to keep your own community safe. So thank them for keeping you safe, or as safe as they possibly can anyway. Just show a little bit of appreciation. It'll go a long way. Like a very, very long way. So that's all for right now, and I will record or come back and talk to y'all again later on. Bye.